What is up, Heels World? It's your boy Heel, and I'm back with a new video. Feel like it's been a while, but it really hasn't. But it feels that way though. But that's around the point. Anywho, a couple years ago, I did a video on this channel telling you guys my story of how I became a wrestling fan. I'll have that video link posted down below in the description if you guys to see for yourselves at the end of this video. So in this video, what I'm going to do is tell you guys a story, but this story is pretty much of the match that I saw that made me a wrestling fan. Because I feel like everyone has a story of how they became a wrestling fan and what was the match that got them hooked, right? So my story is kind of weird. I'm going to say that right now because this happened to me at the age of 1. It's kind of crazy because for a lot of people, it's normally, the age of 10 or 15 or 5, what have you, any random number, I don't know, 7, right? But for me, it was age 1. And the match was Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant from WrestleMania 3. That was the first match that I saw. So years ago, my parents came to America with my brother. My brother used to record lots and lots of wrestling VHS tapes with his friend. They would tape trade, what have you. So when I was born, my brother had literally stacks and stacks beyond stacks of wrestling VHS tapes from like WWF, WCW, and I think also some stuff from AWA. So when I was 1, my parents hired a nanny to watch after me when they went to work. And my nanny, may she rest in peace, did not know a word of English. Never learned English. Never did. The only thing she probably ever knew was hello, hi, bye, and yes or no. Pretty much the basic English to get you through the day, if you will. But she didn't know English, what have you, nor read anything with English lettering. So when I was 1, I would cry a lot. Like any 1-year-old would, right? I guess for any parent, having your 1-year-old cry every day, consistently, hour after hour, is like the most annoying torture you could ever go through, right? So my nanny went into my brother's room one day and she grabbed a VHS tape, not knowing what the fuck it was. For all it could have been porn, right? And she placed me in the middle of our living room that we had at the time, in the middle of the rug, and she placed the tape inside the VCR, and it was WrestleMania 3. And for some reason, my brother didn't choose to rewind the tape, nor did she, to my surprise. Because we did have the VCR rewind thing, the little thing you put the tape in, you rewind it, what have you, but she didn't do that. She placed the tape, and right there, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. Now, at the time, I didn't know the storyline, because again, I was 1. But what I did remember from watching that match was, I'm sure the one thing we all remember from Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant from WrestleMania 3 was the slam heard around the world when Hogan slammed Andre. That's what I remember from that match. And then as I got older, I rewatched that match and understood the storyline. And the storyline was, hey, here's Hulk Hogan, this dominant champion who didn't, lose to anyone. He beat everyone that he faced, right? From 1984 and to that point, right? In 1987. And the one person that he did not face was Andre the Giant. And Andre the Giant, at the time, was Hogan's friend. Remember when Hogan beat Iron Sheik in 84, the birth of Hulkamania, he was one of the first people to congratulate Hulk Hogan. And Piper's Pit, with Roddy Piper, Andre the Giant came out with Bobby Heenan. And he demanded a title match at WrestleMania. To make his point even more clear, he ripped Hogan's shirt, ripped Hogan's crops, and he made a cut with his fingernail on Hogan's chest. And I'll be honest, the match itself, it wasn't nothing like, technical or, oh my god, like a 5-star type of thing. No. But the match told a story. Could Hulk Hogan overcome this adversity? Could he beat a guy who hasn't lost in 15 years, an Andre the Giant? And one thing again, we'll remember, is Hogan slamming Andre and then dropping the boot on him for the 1-2-3 in front of 93,000 plus, Pontiac, Michigan, right? The Pontiac Silverdome. And again, that moment will live on in history. Don't get me wrong, WrestleMania 3, when you look back on it, yes, the match that stole the show was Macho Man versus Ricky Steamboat for the Intercontinental title. That was the match of the show. But if you want to go back to a WrestleMania moment, it was obviously Hogan slamming Andre. And that's what I always remember. And that's what got me hooked. That's what made me a wrestling fan even more. But that's my story. What's your story? If you want, I would love to see video responses from people. Make your video telling me your story. What's the match that made you a wrestling fan? Because again, all of us have a story. Let's face it here. And if you want, send it to me on Twitter at HEELSTEVEN. I'll watch your video. I'll give it a like. I'll retweet it. I'll give a comment. All that fun stuff. Let's make it happen, guys. Just saying. Follow me on Twitter at HEELSTEVEN. Make sure you like all my videos. And as always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Until next video, I'm HEELSTEVEN, signing off.